Now we call social learning. But or learning with conditions or social learning, it have to go through 4 processes. Okay, 4 processes. So pay attention to these processes. If you don't follow, if you break one of these process, then you cannot learn. So the first stage of the process, the first process is we call attentional process. It means if you want to learn, you have to pay attention. Okay, you have to call yourself, Khương, come back here, Khương, come back here and stay here. Okay, when you are here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, you know exactly what's happening. So by paying attention, you can put the information here, you can receive the information well. You understand what's happening, right? So if the first process is that if you want to learn, you have to pay attention. Now, attention. If you cannot pay attention, it means no way to learn. Okay, the first process. The second one is retentional process. It means you pay attention, you receive the information, and now retain. It means you record the information in your head. Okay, if you cannot record the information in your memory, then you cannot learn. You cannot learn. So pay attention for what? For retain the information in your head. So this is the second process. The third process is the term here we call motor reproductions. Motor reproductions. It's difficult to understand, right? Motor reproduction. What does it mean? It means practice. It means practice. So pay attention. Attention for what? For the information, for the knowledge, and retain in your head. If you still don't learn, then you practice it. You practice it. You practice it and then you learn. And if these 3 processes occur and you still don't learn, the last thing you have to do is discipline. Discipline. So you have to overcome yourself. Yeah? You have to calm yourself to practice, or let's say to learn. We call discipline, or we call reinforcement. Okay, so I give you an example. The way you study English. Okay, if there are some words you learn 100 times, but you still don't remember, you don't understand it, because you don't pay attention. But if you pay attention, then you can retain it in your head that quick and easy. And then if you don't know, if you still don't learn it yet, then you practice it. So before, I don't know this process, but I accidentally applying this. Okay, so I learn a vocabulary, a word. For example, table. Table là cái bàn, right? Table là cái bàn. Table là cái bàn. So I pay attention. T-A-B-L-E, cái bàn. Table, cái bàn. So I retain it in my head. The vocabulary table mean what mean to me now, right? But if I stop at this time, then tomorrow I forget immediately. I forget what table is. But now, in order to understand and use of the new term table, then I practice it. Yeah, I need a table, I like a table, I love to have a table, this table is yellow, that table is red. How many tables are there in your head, in your room? There are 3 tables in my room. I put an apple on the table. What do you have on your table? Can you see the book in my table? Mommy, my table is broken. Can you buy me a new table, etc.? So I put many sentences with the word table. It means practice, right? Practice. So then I learned how to use the word tables. Yeah? And reinforcement. You have to tell yourself, okay, overcome yourself that you have to finish it. If you cannot finish it, okay, you don't go out, you don't do this, and you don't, let's say, let you do anything. You don't reward yourself. So you have to find way to reinforce the learning, otherwise you don't learn. Okay, so as a manager, we need to understand, okay, people learn through these 2 things. Sometimes you set kind of condition rewards, then the employee learn new thing because they receive reward. Or sometimes you just create conditions, build up such an environment where your employee can learn using social learning. They want to learn, they look to learn, they hear to learn, etc. Okay, and you should also understand that learning will go through these 4 processes. And if you see your employees, they don't concentrate, they don't pay attention, no way to learn. So you have to find way to change their behavior, to improve their behavior in terms of learning. Because learn lead to change, okay? If they don't learn, they don't change. So if you want them to change quick, then you have to find way to let them learn first, okay? And the other thing for today is shaping the behavior. How can we change? How can we change the behavior? Shaping employee behavior. Okay. There are so many ways, so many programs. You should read and fill it in the map for detailed understanding. But I just briefly mention four ways to shape the employee behavior. Positive enforcement. Positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. It means you encourage people to learn or to do things. You guide them, you train them, and you encourage them. Okay, with let's say constructive feedback. So then people will change. Okay, that effectively. Or another way is negative reinforcement. This is bad, no? Please don't use this one. But negative reinforcement, you shout at them, you use the stick. Okay, you use the stick to force people to change. So then, if you use negative reinforcement, then the return is very negative, very negative. So avoid using negative reinforcement. So think it careful before you use this. So I suggest you to use more of positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement, okay? And punishment. Okay. So sometimes you have to use, but also punishment is not the best way. Not the best way to use. So if people don't do the job or do the job bad, then you punish them. So don't use this that much, okay? And the last one is extinction. Extinction is that, okay, you just leave him or her out, you don't pay attention to, so then his or her will aware of that the exclusion of the team, and then they have to try to change and do things in the way you want. So we have four ways to reinforce, to change the employee behavior, but the most effective one is positive reinforcement. Okay, don't use these things that much, especially negative reinforcement and punishment. Okay, and the implication. Now the last thing, the implications. The implication for managers. So the lesson today, we have so many things to talk about, right? But I summarize it here on this map, but now I give you 6 keywords for all of this. So can somebody tell me, as a manager, why should we care employee ability? Okay, so we care employee ability because our job is to select the right person for the right job. Okay, if we cannot do this, okay, we select wrong people, put in the job, and then kick out and pay for the compensations, we get to bankruptcy very quick. We cannot develop our organization, right? So then our job is to find the right person for the right job. By doing that, we help improve our organizational effectiveness. So then we care the ability because it helps us what? Effective recruitment. Okay, effective recruitment, right? The keyword. Effective recruitment, it means choose the right person for the right job. And the next one, why we should care individual attitudes. Okay, why? We as a manager, we care individual attitudes because we understand employee attitudes. It means we understand our employees. And of course, when we understand our employee better, and the employee feel themselves that, okay, the boss or people around understand me, so that it lead to what? It lead him or her to better performance. Okay, this is the lesson today. Okay, we have to understand attitudes. We have to care the attitudes of our employee because we have to understand them. We understand them and we treat with them with understanding, then yes, the result is their performance. When they do better job, it leads to our organizational performance well. And the last one, why should we care individual learning? It means our employee learning. Why? Okay, so as a manager, we care about individual learning because we know that learn lead to change. So in order to change our employee behavior and attitudes that effectively, then we have to know how to improve the learning. we make the employee learn first so that we can change our employee what? Attitudes and behavior effectively. Okay, so the lesson today can be summarized into these 6 keywords. Individual ability, we care, then help us to select the right persons. We care individual attitudes because we achieve the better performance of the employees. We care employee learning because we can receive the result as change employee behavior and attitude. Mean they do things in the way we want effectively. Okay, so the section today focus on foundation of organizations, help you to understand what ability is, especially individual ability, and how to fit the ability with job. Okay, this is the job of the manager. The second thing is we understand individual attitudes. So attitudes can predict the behavior, so that we understand the attitudes, so that we can have to change the behavior or expect the employee to behave in the right way. Okay, and we talk about learnings. So learn lead to change. So if you want to change your employee attitude and behavior, you change your organization, then you should start with individual learning. Yeah, how to make employee learn quick. So employee learn quick, then they will change that quick and fast. Okay, so if you have any questions, then you can meet me and raise the question in the interacting meeting later. Okay, and again, please read the material and study my slide, and together with this map, hopefully it is helpful for you. You can understand. And if you have any question or confusion, please raise the question to me in the meeting. Thank you very much. Goodbye.